Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a fun summery look for you. I saw this palette and I was just like, what? This palette looks bomb. And I think I talked about it on IG stories, but I was really excited to swatch, which is kind of funny that I didn't end up using these colors. Well, I used the yellow, obviously, but the green and the blue, this whole palette, I've swatched all the shades. They all swatch really nicely. I love the colors in here. I feel like you could do a ton of different looks. And I went with the, what is this, like corally, bright yellow situation. Woo, okay. We're gonna get started here and I'm gonna see how long I can last leaving my trays in because I'm really trying to leave them in for longer periods of time. Okay, so if I have a little lisp, I have my Invisalign in, I'm on week 8, or not week 8, tray 8 out of 15. Mobile stare. All right, to prep my skin today, I'm gonna be trying out a new primer. This is the one from Milk, the Hydro Grip Primer. I'm so intrigued. I don't know if you guys see the videos that pop up on like the Explore page of people applying the stick and it looks so glossy. I'm just like, oh my God, I wanna do that. So I'm just gonna pat this into the skin. Oh. It does feel like hydrating without feeling goopy, like too silky, you know? Oh, I feel like it looks pretty good on the skin too. So it is supposed to hydrate, plump, and actually help your makeup to grip to the primer. And then you let it sit 1 minute. You know, the other day I was so excited because I really thought, well, this side I feel like it did get a lot better, my melasma, but this side it definitely, as you can tell, it came back a little bit. I swear right after I said on Twitter, I think I tweeted it, oh my gosh, my melasma is like almost gone. This one popped back up. It actually doesn't look too bad right now. And I really think it's from not taking the pill anymore. Just because I'm not taking the pill does not mean I'm trying to have kids right now, okay? I was just trying to not take any more prescriptions was the goal. So I stopped taking like all my prescription medication. This is just a little bit of bye-bye under eye just to color correct that before I get started here. Anyway, so I feel like once I stopped taking everything, it's kind of like, you know, whatever happens in my body is gonna happen right now. But I do feel like it helped out my melasma or my under eye discoloration quite a bit. I'm gonna be using a lot of new products today, but not everything is brand new because I do like to mix it up and use products I am very familiar with new products. That way it's not like everything is new on my face, you know? Foundation, I'm gonna be using the Skin Feels Good Lancome Skin Tint. This is the Hydrating Skin Tint Healthy Glow. I'm gonna be buffing it in with a Real Techniques buffing brush. This is the shade 35W. Originally, when I said I was gonna use this palette, this is a new one from Jouer, Tan Lines, which I was very excited for this palette to come out. Look how cute it looks. I was gonna do like a, you know, winged out shadow with cut crease. And then I was like, you know what, pull back for a second here. I kinda wanna do something a little bit more dreamy, more summery. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. But the cool thing with that palette is I feel like you can do so many different looks with it. Like if you wanna go more intense, dramatic with a cut crease, yes. If you don't, you can do like very summery looks, soft summery looks with it too. I just like to pounce it in. So I apply it with a brush and then pounce, pounce, pounce. This is the Real Techniques sponge and I swear, I don't know if it's just me, but did they get softer? Because I heard such good things about it. I was like, you know what, let me give it another shot. So I bought a 2-pack and I was like, oh, these are really nice. But the old one that I have feels really hard. So I don't know, I'm like, is it just me? Did they change? Or is mine literally just stale? Like it's that old, it's just stale. All right, so I'm doing this just to kind of like push it in. This is what I've been doing with my foundation a lot lately. Typically I haven't been applying it with this. I only did that because this was a skin tint. It was a much thinner formula, but I have been using the Smith Cosmetics foundation brush. Dude, have you ever seen a more glowy forehead? It's like, wow. So now to conceal, since I'm wearing, this is a fairly full coverage skin tint, I would say. It has like a good medium coverage to it, but I like to use a lighter weight concealer. So here, this is the Laura Mercier shade 2N, which I love because it's got a lot of peach undertones in it. And I think it wears really nicely, adds some good color correcting. Remember how I told you guys we were doing our first barbecue in the backyard for Memorial Day weekend for my mom's birthday? And it was the one rainy day. It was cold and rainy. It was like 50 degrees and raining. The day before was 75 and sunny, and then the next day was like 80 and sunny. So what I ended up doing, it turned out great. Luckily, we all had a really good time. I rented like this huge tent that basically covered the whole back patio area. It worked out pretty well. I definitely would say it was memorable with the rain. You know, we got to use the fire pit during the day because it was pretty cold. So I'm kind of moving this all around onto my eyes as well because I'm just gonna use this concealer as an eyeshadow base. So just kind of pouncing it on here, buffing it around. And then what I'm gonna do for my under eye concealer, I'm gonna mix these two e.l.f. Cosmetics concealer because I like to use a fuller coverage one just right in here. But I realized one day I was just like, you know, I don't need all the coverage and brightness all over everywhere. So now I just like to use a fuller coverage one there. But I do like the e.l.f. Cosmetics concealer. So I'm gonna mix a little bit of medium beige with medium sand and just kind of pop it in here and then tap right there. And for the nose, I take a bit of that concoction that I just made. Go right here. Try to get it straight down the nose. Oh God. There we go, nice and blended out. And then I'll come back in with powder to kind of straighten everything out a little bit. And one thing that I have changed majorly is how I set my under eyes. So I took this tip from Shayla when her and I filmed together. I was like, wait, you put Studio Fix powder under your eyes. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? So I was like, you know what, let me just try this. Let me see how it goes. Even though I'll probably look like, you know, I haven't slept in 84 years, it's fine. So I tested out a couple different brushes. So far, this one is my favorite. This is the Hourglass, I believe they're Vanish Foundation brush, but basically like a flat top kabuki, but I do like how this one's angled. It kind of makes it easy for me to get under there. And I just tap in here, really get it more so up in here. This is the Studio Fix powder in the shade NC20. And I'm just gonna stick this right up against the under eye for now because I want to do my highlights still. But I like how this brush doesn't kind of disrupt things. I've used a couple other brushes. I think I used like a natural fiber brush and I felt like it was taking concealer off. So that one was a no from me, but this one so far is working really, really well. So just tap some there. Okay, and then highlight. I've been loving cream highlights lately. And these two are current favorites. These are the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Illuminators, the shades Moonstone and Sandstone. So I'm gonna take some off. This is Moonstone, the lighter one, and then just mix it with a tiny dab of my concealer. This is just the one I used on my under eyes, the Laura Mercier one. There we go. So I mixed it together and it kind of made this creamier, more lightweight texture. And I'm gonna dab it on here, kind of all around. I do like how the concealer just makes it a little bit thinner, but I love these two colors mixed together. I mean, honestly, even if you use this by itself, it's really pretty too. You definitely don't have to mix it with a concealer. Ooh. I just think it makes it a little bit of a more comfortable texture. Now, I mean, this stuff by itself is pretty glowy. The skin feels good, so I understand if you don't want to add like a liquid highlight, but I feel like it just kind of gives it like a glassy finish to the skin, and I really, you know, I'm here for that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and finish setting my under eyes. I've still been using this powder from Kylie. This is her setting powder in the color beige. It's just been killing it. So I'm gonna take my sponge. I still don't use like a lot of setting powder, obviously, because I have the Studio Fix under there as well. So I do get a lot of questions, especially when I do like IG stories makeup. They're like, wait, so you use how many different concealers? I know I use so many, but this combination of concealers just works for me. If I could just use one or none, I would, but I'm very picky when it comes to concealing my under eyes. I like it to be very concealed. You know what I mean? Now what I want to do is a little, do I want to do contour? I'm just going to do a tiny bit because this has been working for me lately. This is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Cream Bronzer. I think I've talked about this before. I really like the contour color and texture of the cream in here. I do like cream contour bronzer type products. I tried the Huda Beauty one in the shade Light and I really like it. This is the brush that I use for it, the EcoTools Seamless Stippling. I am definitely a less is more kind of person. I don't like to apply it with like a brush, like a lot of product and then blend it out. I just like a really tiny amount. You could definitely get a similar effect with powder. I just like the color of this and I feel like it really blends into the skin nicely. So that's why I use this one. Little cheekbone cut. Guess we're going for a little bit more of a chiseled look today. Wasn't really my plan, but it's kind of happening right now, so what are you gonna do, huh? All right, I'm just gonna dust off this extra powder. I'm gonna throw on a little bit of blush right now, even though I'm gonna do my eyeshadow after this. So let me just put some, I'm gonna put a little bit. This is Mojave Mauve from Cover FX. I do love these split situations they have. Just, you know, a little tie-in moment here. So I wanted to keep it very fresh with this look. So I'm kind of staying in this area here. Although in the first look that I tested out, I used all of these colors, except for the lime green actually, because that one's matte and the other ones are like more shimmery. So I didn't touch the lime one, but I have swatched them all and they're really, really nice. So I'm gonna start with Beachaholic, this shade here. And then I will be going into Heat Wave, but I'm gonna start with this one. And I feel like this one's pressed really hard because I definitely, you know, I'm not normally this rough with my palettes, but I mash in that one. I just have concealer on my eyes, the Laura Mercier one, because I feel like that one just kind of melts nicely into my eyes. And this one's gonna be kind of doing a wash all over, but I think this is such a cute color. We're washing, heavy washing. Next up, I'm gonna take Heat Wave. We're just gonna kind of build it up here. This one here, and just start going in. You know, I know normally I'm like very picky with my eye shape, but I was like, let me try and do something a little bit more round today and just see how I feel, you know? Because I know not everybody likes winged out eyeshadow, even though it's like my absolute favorite. Oof, this color layers on so nicely with this. Look at that. What is that? Lash glue? I'm putting some of that same color on my lower lash line right now, and it's funny. I meant to not set all the way up to the lash line, so that way I could do my eyeshadow, but I didn't. Oh, I can totally see in that, right? The eyeshadow does not want to stick to the Studio Fix powder. It's so funny. It's like, nope. So I'm like really packing it on. Note to self, don't do that. It's so cute. Man, I would even just throw this all over the lid and do like a matte. But I'm not going to, that's not my plan. But wouldn't that be cool? Like just this all over? Because it's not too fluorescent, but it's still really, really bright. Oof. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. I'm not gonna do it though. I'm gonna go with my original plan here. So I'm gonna take Tankini, which is one of those reflecty shadows. This one definitely has like more reflex in it. So I'm gonna press it into the lid. Oh, that's really pretty too. So this is I love this brush. I don't think I could live without this one, the Real Techniques Detailer. And I'm gonna take the yellow, which is Sunburst. And this one almost gives the look of like UV yellow because it has a little bit of a sheen to it. So I'm gonna take this one and pop it on the inner corner. And this is with no white base under it. So you can imagine if you use a really bright base, it would pop even more. Okay, next up is to take the L'Oreal Infallible pencil. This is the Longwear eye pencil in the shade, what shade are you? Brown, the shade brown. So I already did a little bit on that side, but I'm just gonna take this and kind of smudge it into the lash line. Ooh, look at this, you guys, doesn't that look good? Gonna smudge this into the lash line here. And also into the waterline. All right, next step is to take, I'm hoping this will be dark enough, Driftwood. This is such a good brown, by the way. When I was playing around, I did test it out just all over the lid to see if that's what I wanted to do, which I didn't end up doing, obviously, but it's a really pretty color. So far, every shade in here is not disappointing, but I just want to blend this into it here, just lightly, ever so lightly. I'm gonna dip into Friendcation and probably use a little bit of Cheens, actually. A little Cheens, just to deepen this up a tad. I just need like a little bit of definition down here, you know? Now lashes, I am switching it up a little bit. I still have my Baddie B lashes, but this is the style Sugar Baby. A little bit more of a flare than the Instaho ones that I have. And I already trimmed them and I did curl them. I like to curl lashes before I put them on, like a strip lash if it's this full. Actually, I was wondering, do you guys like the other Milk makeup sticks? Isn't there a hydro primer stick? Because I'm kind of into that hydro primer that I just used today. I feel like it felt really good on my face. Also Glossier. I think I'm being targeted on Instagram, which obviously it makes sense why, but for anything keto related, like keto snack foods and like so many companies are coming out with stuff now, right? Which is really cool. But at the same time, I feel like it's also getting back into processed foods again, which is basically what happened to me today. So I'll just kind of tell you guys a story. But I saw an ad for cereal on IG, some sponsored post. I swear every other thing for me is an ad for some type of keto sugar-free snack or whatever. Anyway, I saw cereal and I was like, that's it, I'm buying it. Anyway, it came in, I had some, like I was so excited when it got here and then I had some. This is too good to be true. There's no way that this can actually be sugar-free. And it was kind of hard for me to find on the site, so I was like, fine, you know, I'll get up and actually go look at the box. And it said it had added sugar in it, and I was so confused. That lash though, bomb. I was so confused. I was like, added sugar. I could have sworn it, like, that it didn't have any sugar in it. Whatever. And then I kept reading the box, and it was allulose, which I guess is still kind of a gray area in terms of if it says it on the box that it does not affect your blood sugar, but I don't know. I kind of was doing research. Oh my God, I just want to trim this a little bit more. There wasn't like a ton of information. Granted, I only spent like, 20 minutes on it. But that being said, does allulose affect blood sugar? Is it a real sugar? I don't really know. I never found out the answer to that, but it just made me think, like I had a moment of realization. I was like, oh, maybe I just shouldn't be eating so many processed foods again where I have to Google all the ingredients. That was the moment that I had. It was like a aha moment. I feel like I haven't been this into a palette in a long time. You know what it reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of that Urban Decay Beached or whatever, but like way better. Like this one feels a lot better to me, like way more usable. So now what I'm gonna do is contour in the nose a little bit. This is the Fenty Beauty Bronzer in the shade Shady Biz, which I have really been liking the Fenty bronzers. This one is my go-to shade. I really wanted to like the Fenty liquid liners, the new ones that came out that were really colorful. So I was playing with them one day. Maybe I need to give them another shot, but I used like the light green one and then a different color, and it kept cracking on me, or it was like too liquidy or like milky, I guess is like watery. I'm like, not milky, watery. It felt watery. So I need to try it again because I'm like, I really need those to work because those are so cool. The colors, I'm just like, dude, those colors were sick, but they were cracking on me. Is it because of my crinkly eyelids? Is that why? Do I need to have smoother lids to get that to work? So this is an E25 Sigma blending, which to me, it's like a very tight brush. So I like to use it for here. A little snatcheroni. Ooh, girl. I think I want to do a bold lip too. So I have this one from MAC that I pulled out, the Powder Kiss lipstick, Style Shocked. These lipsticks are really cool. I don't know if you guys have tried these yet, but if you want a bold, I mean, the nude ones are nice too, but if you want a bold colored lipstick that's very comfortable, these have a very nice, like soft velvety texture. I love the way they look too. I don't know why, but they look really cool. Okay, this is LA Girl Nectar. It's just like a very hydrating formula, especially somebody like me, and my lips are a little bit drier, definitely more wrinkly. So this is just more forgiving, for sure. My eyes are watering. This is what happens when I scoop my lashes too close to my inner corner. But I really wanted the look, so this is what I'm dealing with, just wet eyeballs. All right, so for mascara on my lower lashes, I'm gonna use this one from MAC. This is an Extreme Dimension Waterproof Lash. Go. All right, you guys, so that's it for today's fun summery makeup look that we have going on. Ooh, it's looking wet. It's looking wet. I really love this palette. That's all I have to say. That's pretty much all I have to say. I'm really loving this palette. I want to play with it again. I want to see what other looks I can come up with. So anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. Okay, I don't know if I was actually recording on the last clip. Damn it. How long do you think I'll last leaving my trays in? Are they distracting?
For me or for the people?
Distracting. I swear it was right after. I'm spitting now when I'm having these trays in. Are they distracting? And for pound, I have to take these out. I can't stop. Now we're gonna start. Am I still?